How y'all doing? Ignore the sound in the background. There's a thunderstorm going through. Uh, this video, again, is not planned out, but um, I will get back to those eventually. I want to do my next paleontology video. I've been wanting to do that. It's just been a little hard to get things in motion. I've got to do a lot of, well, not a lot of research, but I do need to do some research because I want to get the numbers right. And as far as the weight and mass, or the weight and length and everything, my next video is going to be about Stegosaurus. I actually, on my T-Rex video, one of my buddies had asked for that video, or asked for that topic, so I am going to do that. I'd said it was going to be my next video. I was meaning my next paleontology video, but anyway, I know I keep looking down, but this is going to be my first video with me in the picture itself, and it's different for me. This video is not going to be covering, it's going to be somewhat controversial, scientifically speaking. It's not a socio-political controversy, but it is a scientific controversy. And to start off with, I do not want this channel to be about cryptozoology or the look for lost creatures. I don't want, any of that. That being said, I do like a good mystery, isn't that good as much as the next person. Yesterday, I went to the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. That was Saturday the 25th, held in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. If cryptozoology is one of your interests, I do suggest attending one of those events. They're supposed to have it next year. This year was limited seating due to the pandemic. They had us spaced out quite a bit. So what this video is going to be about, again, I apologize for looking down. What this video is going to be about is not so much arguing one way or the other. I'm not going to say that it's real, and I'm not going to say that it's not. I'm going to go into my view of it. I attended this event with my sister. Again, I'm sorry for the storm. I attended this event with my little sister, and it is something we both enjoy. So, without the further ado, let me get into some details of the entirety of this. Well, not the entirety of the argument, but an overview of the arguments. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, I think there's the Grassman in Ohio, the Boggy Creek Monster. There are a lot of different names for these giant bipedal apes, Yeti, Yahweh, wild men, and there have been lore surrounding them for quite some time, well, as far back as humans have known. Now, could this lore just be ingrained stories from generation to generation, is what I'm trying to say, from one generation to the next, of creatures that had actually walked the earth with mankind. Kind of a historic memory, I guess you could say. There is that possibility as far as the stories are concerned. Now, there are a lot of sightings. People do see a lot of sightings of of large bipedal primates. But that being said, there are a lot of sightings of UFOs or sightings of some claim dinosaurs. Dinosaurs would be something that is probably the least likely of the cryptids. But as far as Bigfoot, there is one that is a little bit more likely as far as basing the description, and that would be a smaller version. It's a small primate in Indonesia called orang pendek. They're what are thought to be completely mythical, and they still are considered. There's not been any scientific proof, at least not hard scientific proof, but they did find what was commonly known, has come to be known as the Hobbit people in Indonesia. They were small hominids that lived around the same time that modern humans were coming along. And these creatures, the orang pendek, are in deep jungles where people can't really get to. As far as the Bigfoot, there are a couple possibilities as far as ancestors. There's apes in the fossil record that are similar. The most notable is Gigantopithecus, which was a large ape that has been seen. The fossils have been discovered in Asia, in caves in Asia. The problem is that they've only discovered parts of the maximal, or mandible, and teeth of the Gigantopithecus, so we don't really know what it looked like, how it stood. There have been reconstructions saying that it was bipedal, but there have also been reconstructions saying it's quadruped. Some DNA suggests that it was actually a closer related to the orangutans than to what we would think Bigfoot looks like, or what Bigfoot is described as looking like. That being said, it is completely possible. It's not, or let me read that, reword that. It's not completely impossible for a large primate to go undiscovered. Even in the Americas, I'll give my reasons that both support and kind of deny the existence of these creatures. Now, as far as science, proving it to science, there's a couple rules in science, not necessarily rules, but suggestions, the way the scientific method works. First, if you make a claim scientifically, the burden of proof lies on you. So if you say something is real, it is up to you to prove it's real in science for it to be legitimate. That's the reason the scientific method's set up. That's the reason peer-reviewed papers are there. You have a hypothesis, you test the hypothesis, you publish your work. It goes through peer reviews. Those peers then do studies and tests on their own until there is hard evidence as far as in the form of bodies. So unless you have a corpse of one of these creatures, or perhaps a partial remains, then it's going to be looked at seriously. Until then, it's not going to be a serious discussion among the scientific community. There is evidence. There is the Patterson-Gimlin footage from the late 60s that is the most popular. or the most recognizable. That's just a clip of it. There are also thousands and thousands of casts like this. This is something I picked up. This was actually a cast. This was cast. This is a copy. I can't afford the original. This is a copy that the two gentlemen, Patterson and Gimlin, is a copy that they had cast. The same on the same expedition that they found this in the Bluff Creek area. The detail's pretty good, but this could be obviously faked. There are other casts that show a lot more detail and even thermal ridging. That being said, a cast is not a body. There's hair samples and a million other things. Not a million other things, but there's a lot of things. Hair samples that the DNA does not match known animals. There's also audio of howls and things. There's expeditions all the time for this thing all over the United States. The thing of it is hard to believe that a giant ape is living in North America without being seen a lot more regular. That being said, we have mountain lions and other things that are living around us that in California, mountain lions live right next to people and are rarely seen. So it's not impossible. At the same time, there is, if they are primates, they're intelligent, and they probably don't want to be around us a whole lot. They don't want to be seen by us anyway. There are encounters where rocks have been thrown and a bunch of other things. This video won't last much longer for the fact that I'm about out of memory on my phone. But this is a subject that is debated a lot, obviously. I also think that to completely rule out the thousands of sightings and all the other evidence completely is not something you should do, but I can't 100% come out and say that it is real. I would like to be able to. That would be amazing to discover a primate wandering around in the woods of North America. In certain places, it could be feasible for them to maintain. I do not, if they do live, and they do exist, there's not that many of them in any one location. Ecologically speaking, the bigger the animal, the fewer they are, because it takes so much to maintain a large animal. These would be, like most primates, omnivorous. A lot of primates are completely herbivorous, but I believe these would be omnivorous. But do I believe they're real? I'm not going to say. Do I think that it's completely irresponsible to completely dismiss it? Yes. But that's life. Have a good day, folks. And stay safe out there in this pandemic.
Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, old country road.